We are South Bay Clean Creeks Coalition. Over the past month, we have been focusing on cleaning up the area under the San Carlos Bridge in downtown San Jose. This section of the Los Gatos Creek waterway has seen a lot of impact from the previous encampments that have been here for the past couple of years. And we returned last week to check on our progress. And here is our founder with the update.
Okay, let's do it. So I'm going to give a brief description of this site and what we're looking at and what is here. That this is actually Los Gatos Creek runs through this area, and it's been kind of a chronic area for trash and the unhoused. Initially, when we started this operation, we did a survey of all of Los Gatos Creek from the SAP Center all the way up into Campbell and San Tomas Expressway. And in that corridor, we tabulated about 225 to 250 people that were living along the waterway through here. So you can only imagine the amount of trash that was in these areas. In most areas where there was gravel, it was basically buried with all of the debris and trash that was associated with these camps. And then what would remain oftentimes during the big storms would get pulsed down the waterway, and it was wrapped around the bushes, buried in gravel. It was just a complete mess. And so over the last 10 years, we've had an opportunity to keep coming back in with corporate groups, with schools. We have a sort of a nucleus of leaders that come out for our Wednesday cleanups, and we've had an opportunity to get back in there about 3 weeks ago and pulled out over 2 tons of trash. I want to sort of discuss this signage that we have here. This has been posted by Valley Water, and pretty much what this is, it's the Water Resources Protection Zone. And so they've allocated this area as a place where, as you can see on the sign, that they don't want any sort of camping going on. This area was one of the hot spots when we originally started doing this work 13 years ago. We would come in here repeatedly, do huge cleanups, remove 4 or 5 tons of trash, and then come back 2 months later. The area had gone right back into tons of trash and removal. And so this is a nice break, because basically the people that were living down here were put into transitional housing, and we've now had an opportunity to get in here and really clean this waterway, this stretch of the creek. And that's something that we're seeing up and down the waterway, and we're really excited about this program, and we commend the mayor for working to figure out a solution where we could get the housed or unhoused into a proper setting, transitional housing, and we could then start the rehabilitation that was needed to get all the trash out of this local stream to enhance the number of fish that will spawn successfully. So let's go down and take a look at what we've got down here. I think we stop in here. We can just show all of the stoops that we've got here. Yeah, so if you pan with the camera, you're going to see all these areas where the homeless come in and they basically dig a flat area where they will set up their tents and sort of store their goods. But all that dirt goes down into the riparian area, and a lot of it reaches the waterway, so it's clogging the gravel that runs through this area with all that dirt. So you can see where these people were living in, next to the waterway. Now, looking at this is what I'm talking about. In the past, when we would be standing here looking, all the trees would have all sorts of trash clogged up in them. There would be, if you look down into the waterway, it's a little bit on the mossy side, and there's dirt. But when the fish come in, they'll basically dig a pile of this gravel, and then the female will spawn with a male, and This will be repeated up and down the waterway of Los Gatos Creek. Half of the spawning fish end up along Los Gatos Creek and the other half go down the main stem of the Guadalupe. They go to the back of the valley, and then they'll find suitable spawning below the Flashboard Dam and fish ladder behind Valley Water headquarters. And then if they are successful in getting up the fish ladder, they'll go up into Alamitas Creek and spawn in that area. So there's a lot of, open space for these fish, and that's the thing that's really kind of exciting is we're seeing the numbers increase each year. First couple of years, we also were fighting a drought. So this area there was no water. And so it really helped us because we were able to get in and there was a lot of, clothing, blankets, plastic trash, sheeting, that sort of thing. And we were able to come in here and, remove all of that. So that's what you're kind of seeing in this area. But we are making progress. This whole area, 3 weeks ago, we ended up having to take a bed that was in the water that weighed, it was heavy. And then you had to drag it up this hill. So it wasn't easy access on getting all of that trash up and out. But we really have a good crew of people now that are focused on trying to heal these waterways with us. And so hat goes off to all the work that they're doing, because we couldn't do this without, the help and support of the community.
If you're interested in helping us reclaim, restore, and revitalize the local waterway, check out our website at sbcleancreeks.com for more information on our events and activities.